Hi, everyone. Gathered my thoughts. So we're going to do this video. I have debated it for a long time. I did a video previous. Didn't like the fact that I was kind of drifting and rambling. So I deleted that video, and now I'm doing this one. And the reason for that was because I felt I wasn't doing justice to my message. So gathered my thoughts. Now I've come back, and now we're gonna now this is it. This is the video I've wanted to formulate my thoughts and whatnot. So let's dive into it, shall we? So in the video description, you probably know already an airman who I used to work with back when I was at Edwards. We worked for about I got at Edwards July of 2009. He showed up around August, October, somewhere around that area. So and then I PCS'd in December. So yeah, it wasn't long. I wasn't long at Edwards Air Force Base. But I worked with him a little bit, and he was on my flight, Ryan Kinsella. And I think, well, I don't think, he was always a good kid. So I'm going to talk to him about it. He was always a good kid. Always had a smile on his face. He loved to drink. He was a jovial drunk. He was always looking for trouble. In the good way, not the bad way. He was a good kid. Never wanted to hurt anybody, unless someone wanted to, hurt one of his friends. In which case, he was like a junkyard dog. Always wanted to fight people who wanted to hurt his friends. Never once wanted to throw the first punch. Always waited. So he was a good man. Always had a smile on his face. I never saw him frown. I never saw him upset. He'd be mad. He'd be frustrated at people, but he would never be sad or heartbroken. He was always got a smile on his face. But I found out that he killed himself just last night, and a lot of my Edwards family's hurting. Edwards Air Force Base family's hurting, and what I would like to do is just take a little time and just say, hey, if you've ever felt that you had no other option, there's always somebody. There's always going to be somebody. So, it's difficult. It really is difficult dealing with depression, dealing with traumatic stress, whether it's PTSD, whether it's just life is just snowballed a whole bunch of bad in your copious amounts of bad in your general direction. However you want to define your stress, there's always another healthier way. And it sucks because, Kinsella always had a smile, and he was always able to talk to people. But it hurts a little bit because for me, it hurts a little bit for me because, he was surrounded by all of his friends. He was able to always talk, reach out to people, but he never felt that he was able to talk to people in that genuine way of, hey, I'm hurting. And in the military, there has been this culture of mental health is a stigma. suck it up. You can always carry on. People have it worse than you. Grab your balls, grab your ovaries, Ranger up, Defender up, Army up, Soldier up, all that stuff. All the bravado, as it were, of the military that has been deeply ingrained in military culture. And it's been just recently that we've made somewhat of a paradigm shift from, why are you going to mental health? You can just fucking deal with it like the rest of us, to, hey, you might want to go to mental health and deal with it healthily like the rest of us, or like everyone should. So, and I think about it, and it sucks because like this kid was nothing but jovial. He was nothing but a ball of joy. Yeah, his humor was somewhere between infantile and irreverent at best. He spanned the whole range, and he'd act like a kid sometimes, but then he'd grow up a little bit in situations where he knew, hey, I need to act like the adult, or I need to act like an adult, and then he would do fine. So it just hurts a little bit. Hurts a little bit for me. I was not as close to him as my other Edwards family was, and it sucks that they're in pain right now. And I've offered my services to them. But the reason why I want to bring it up is because we always talk about this awareness factor, this suicide awareness month, mental health awareness month. And awareness is great if it has follow through. And I'm going to relate it like this. You could promote fire awareness. And whenever you see a burning building, you're like, hey, that's on fire. But at the end of it all, if you didn't pick up the phone to call the fire department, or grab a shovel full of dirt, or grab a bucket of water, or find a hose, or even a bottle full of piss to pour it on, you're not helping the situation. Plenty of people have sounded the alarm when it comes to suicide. And everyone talks about 22 veterans every day, because they're referring back to a study that was done back in 1999 to 2011. It was done in 21 states, did not take into account California that had a large veteran population, or Texas that had a large veteran population. They had limited data to do the study. And when they finished their study, they said, well, we conservatively believe that 22 veterans die every year due to suicide. But in recent years, they revisited that and they said, well, we don't believe that those numbers hold up anymore, which is a good thing. So when everyone latches on to the 22, we're focusing on the negativity of it. Yes, 22 or even 1 is too many. Whether it's 22 or 1, it's too many. And whether it's in the military or in the civilian world, it's too many. So in my eyes, we need to come up with the battle plan of mental health, not just awareness, but solution. Fighting suicide with solutions, fighting depression with solutions, bringing forth options for mental health. And I'm going to add my little bucket of water to this house fire and say that if anyone on this channel that watches my channel believes that they have no one to talk to, message me. I have an email account. If you go on my About page on YouTube, it'll say, you'll click on it and it'll have my email for my business account, but I check it all the time. And if you want to talk to me, I will listen to you. But when you talk to me, not only will I listen to you, but I will strongly suggest that you seek out a trained professional. I've linked the National Suicide Prevention hotline, the 1-800 number, in this description. So if you don't want to talk to me and you want to talk to someone anonymous who can get you the help that you deserve, they can. It sucks. It fucking sucks to hear that, someone that you worked with committed suicide. And no one ever knew about it. That's the worst part. Is that it's like, fuck, this guy was always happy. This guy never seemed to have a care in the world. And then this hits you. I was good co-workers, and I was a good comrade in arms to him. I can't imagine what his close friends are feeling right now. I only wish for them to have an easy time transitioning from this pain. But we need to combat this not by just raising awareness, but by grabbing the bucket of water and throwing it on the fucking fire, or calling the fire department. Because it's not going to stop unless we bring out solutions. It's not going to be, our awareness campaigns will not be successful if we don't fight for solutions. Just recently I heard that several states are cutting health care to mental health clinics, or cutting health care, which means that mental health clinics are going to be less and less and less, or are going to be less available. We have 47 different flavors of ice cream over at any ice cream store that you want, whether it's Baskin Robbins, whether it's Dairy Queen, whether it's Sonic, whatever fast food joint you want. But we don't have the same variety or capability to cater to everyone's mental health needs. And that's frustrating. And knowing that fact should incense everyone else to do what's right. To go to Congress, to go to your representatives, to go to talk to the people who are in power, who represent you, and say, no, we need this. We need this fixed. We needed this fixed yesteryear. And if they're not going to fix it, or they give you the wishy-washy statement, then get rid of them. Vote them out. Hold them accountable. So I appreciate that. By the way, Gary Oak, Mark, and Kevin B., thank you for joining me for this impromptu journal. Kevin was here during the first bit, and I was all over the place. But I'm glad you guys think that this is well-rounded. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We have to fight this smart and in a way that we see the decrease in depression and decrease, because the problem, the big problem is, if we're just going to look at it through the military's aspect, is that there's a lot more Americans serving now than there ever was. Really, I think the last time that the American military was particularly large was during the surge. the surge between 2005 to 2009, 2010. So, there are a lot of veterans if we just want to look at the military aspect. But then again, I don't want to leave the civilians out of this equation because they need help too. And like I said, we just can't raise awareness. We have to fight this. Suicide is such an easy battle to win if everyone is able to be cared for. We're not going to stop. We're not, the realist in me says you can't stop everything from happening. But the dreamer in me says, God damn it, I'm going to try. And that's the truth of it. Cynics will say, well, you can't stop everything from happening. Well, fuck it, I'm going to try. And I want everyone else to try. And mental health is serious, and you should pursue it as if you were shot, as if you had a broken arm, as if you had a broken leg. The same vigor. You can't tough out a broken leg. You can't do a rock march with a broken leg. There's no nothing to that. You can't participate in a firefight with a broken leg. If we're going to refer to the military aspect. I mean, yeah, you can put bullets down range in a firefight with a broken leg, but you're not going to be an effective member of the team. So what do? You holler for the medic. So go to mental health. You holler for mental health, and they'll come and they'll fix you. Have the doc patch you up. Have the therapist take a look at you. And we shouldn't stigmatize it. We should never stigmatize it. And the people who do stigmatize it are the people that have been hurt in the past and thought that they didn't need treatment, and then they just kept on re-hurting themselves, or they didn't have a good support system. So, I don't want to focus on the bad, because focusing on the bad and not having, it's a military mindset. Don't talk about the problem. Find me a solution. Don't come with me with a problem. Come with me with a solution. And that's really the crux of this, is that we've talked about the problem. We've raised awareness. We've talked about PTSD. We've talked about traumatic brain injuries and how that can really offset chemicals in your brain and really offset how your brain thinks. I mean, hell, you guys know it all the time. I have a TBI. I got into a rollover car accident while I was in England. And I stutter all the goddamn time. You hear it in the battle reports. I mean, there's a comment just recently. It was like, I'm like, fuck, he got me. And I laugh about it. But we talk about PTSD. We talk about depression. We talk about TBIs and how they affect the mental health characteristics of a person. But never do we say, in some cases, we don't say, okay, well, how do we fix it? We can talk about it all day long until I'm blue in the face, but how do we fix it? What are our solutions? And then we look to the civilian sector and realize, fuck, there are no solutions for the civilians, and there's barely any solutions for us. Whether it's the VA or a regular military. I mean, if you're active military, there are plenty of solutions. So if you're active military and you're listening to this, here are your solutions. Mental health at the clinic, the chaplaincy, Military One Source, Airman Family Readiness Center, or Soldiers Family Readiness Center, or Marine Family Readiness Center, or the Sailor Center, whichever center that focuses on the family, okay? They have certified counselors to help you work through your demons, to help you work through your problems. You need to go to them. Okay? I don't give a shit what your command may think about you. I don't give a shit what your battle buddies may think of you. And if they're judging you, then they ain't your fucking battle buddies. Now, worst case scenario, if you're in the military and you're under stress, fucking give me a call. Send me an email. You can find me on Global. Send me an email and give me a goddamn call. And I will listen to you. I will help you. So there's that. So that's for if you're active duty. And if you're a veteran and you're out in the civilian world, holy shit, we got to do better than what we have been doing. Like I said, there are several states that are cutting Medicare and Medicaid and all the care programs, like mental health programs and whatnot. That is a no-go. Go to your congressman, go to your representative, go to your senator, call them, petition them, tell them to stop. Because it's not just the veterans that are hurting, it's the civilians too. Because the civilians don't have the access to care that they need. You know? So, you know, it's tough. It's tough and it's frustrating, and it bothers me to a core that we're still doing this. You know, your well-being does matter. Matters to me. I may not even fucking know you when it matters to me, because you're a human being and I care about you. Care about all of you. At least I try to, goddammit. So, this was a tough video to do. I debated long over it. I'm glad I'm able to do it now. And I sincerely hope that this message gets to somebody. And I hope that if you're hurting and you hear this, it does you some good. It motivates you to go and get yourself fixed. See the doc. Call for the medic. Put out the fire on you. You know? And if someone reaches out to me, God damn it, I will listen to you. I will sit there and I will cry with you. I will help you. I may not be able to hug you, but God damn it, I will be there for you. So, it's important to me. It's important to me that you guys that you guys are safe. And you're not going to get judged here. You're not. So I know that this was a heavy video, but understand that you got somebody in your corner. That's me. It may not be much. 100 or 210 pounds of just Air Force defender. So yeah, I may not be much, but I'm at least in your corner. And I care about all of you deeply. So much love, guys. I love you all. Actually, you know what? I'll probably just link my email in the description below as well, just so that if you need that immediate assistance, I can be there for you. And I care about all of you. And I want you all safe. My name is Commissar Hector, and I'll see you guys in the next video.